Alrighty, so here we go. We are taking a look at The Enchanted World of Rankin Bass, a portfolio by Rick Goldschmidt, which I used to be friends with. Sadly, I haven't talked to him as much anymore, and especially since my Facebook account was hacked and I lost access to all my friends and acquaintances on Facebook. So it really sucks because I had a lot of contacts, both personal and friendship and business-wise, and it really sucks. As you can see, they signed the inside of the book and drew in it, which I think is very cool. I can't remember if they're all like this, but it's a very cool book. I've always been a huge fan of Rankin and Bass. I just remember watching these shows back in the 70s when I grew up, and they were a big part of my childhood. I absolutely loved stop motion animation, and I loved seeing all this stuff. If I already wasn't collecting so much Disney and SpongeBob stuff, I would probably collect this stuff too. There was a really cute Funko set that was at Five Below. Excuse me, I'm losing my voice lately. But it's absolutely a beautiful book. I think he's come out with a few different ones. And I saw recently he was kind of doing a tour around different places. He was actually in my town, but I was not able to meet him. I had something else going on at the time. But it's an absolute classic. I've always enjoyed the Christmas holiday. Even though I grew up poor, my mom always got me at least something, and I did all right. Since I was an only child, and or as I always say, lonely child, because when you're an only child, sometimes you are, because you don't have someone else to play with or whatever. So I have a great imagination because of that, I guess. But a lot of this is the early cartoons that they used to do. Just like Disney, they would do storyboards, and then, of course, then there's a department. There's so much involved in creating any TV show. You kind of don't think about it when you're actually watching the stuff, but there's just so much involved. But absolutely love this book. I think it's super cute. There's lots of promotional stuff in it. I haven't had the chance to actually read this book. I actually can't anymore because of my vision, but I'm sure it's very interesting. I might have to use since technology has come a long way and now you can have your phone actually read pages to you, I might attempt to do that. I'll have to take pictures of all the pages. There's so many books I want to read, but I just can't, unless I would try to read under a microscope or something, but that's ridiculous. These are so cool. And I believe some of these puppets still exist. It's crazy how, so many of these things back in the day, they really didn't keep the stuff like they do now and archive things. They kind of just threw stuff away, or, just like Star Wars. A lot of that, I remember seeing photos of, like the Millennium Falcon just trashed afterwards from Star Wars, and they just up and left some of the stuff in the countries, in the desert, and then people actually went back at some point and found the stuff. But there was so many great cartoons done by Rankin and Bass, and yeah, here's sheet music for Snow Miser. I love that song. And First Christmas, First Easter Rabbit. If you hear a loud noise in the background, I apologize. My water filter from my house is very loud, and it used to come on when I was sleeping, but then we had electricity go out or something, and now it does it during the day. And I'm not sure how to change it, and it's annoying. But, and a lot of things you don't really think about. I forgot that The Hobbit was actually done by Rankin and Bass. And I actually saw this was available on one of the either Amazon Prime or Max or something. I saw it listed on there. The Stingiest Man in Town. Jack Frost. Such great shows. Let's see. And I didn't do a check, but I'm assuming you probably can find this somewhere if you're interested in it. I know he's done some additional books. And here's some more of, looks like original cells. This, even though it's not Frosty, looks just like the style. You usually could tell whether something was Rankin Bass. They did a Michael Jackson cartoon, which was by them also. I miss Michael. It's sad to have him gone. Was really, I literally in my head was, when I was younger, was like, I wonder what Michael Jackson's going to look like when he's older, in his 60s or something, or 70s. And sadly, that never came true. So, and they even did Lionel. They even did. Sorry, I was. These are style sheets. That's what I was looking for. Word I was looking for, style sheets. Silverhawks. I think there's. I never watched this, but I do remember it. And then television series. Yeah, they had their own Pinocchio. I love the jitterness to the figures. It's pretty funny because nowadays stop motion is so much cleaner because I think because they do so many more frames per second compared to the older ones. They were a little bit more jittery. Smokey the Bear Show. Only if you can prevent forest fires. I don't know what that is. The Jackson 5 Show. The Reluctant Dragon and Mr. Toad Show. Funny enough, Disney had those also. The Osmonds. Kid Power. Festival of Family Classics. I can at least see the big words. Thundercats. That's the word I was looking for. So my brain is not the best all the time. But yes, I used to watch the Thundercats all the time. Thundercats, ho! Thundercats comic. It's funny, some series actually started out as a cartoon first, and then were made into a product. And then the reverse sometime a product was made by, say, Hasbro or something, and they needed a way to get it out there to the public, so they would have cartoons made of their characters. There's actually some shows on Netflix that are kind of like the story of toys, and it shows you different how things became, like He-Man, how that became something and then turned into a cartoon and so on. They're quite fun to watch. They have a giant one of those. I think it's like 13 to 16 feet tall. I think Lowe's has it. It's either Lowe's or Home Depot. Home Depot has way better animatronic figures than Lowe's does. That's where the Mickey, Minnie, and Donald Duck one, which I have the Donald one. I want the Mickey Mouse one so bad, and it was actually available finally at my store, but my wife says I can't buy it. But I'm going to take forever on this book, but a lot of it, sadly, as you can see, is in the older days, and all the pictures are in black and white. But I would absolutely love to have one of these original characters. The King and I. Because everyone wants to see a animated King and I. There's King Kong Escapes. A lot of these, I'll be honest, I've never heard of some of these or seen them. But I was going to watch Frosty the other night, or it was Rudolph was also available, but they were on pay things. I'm like, yeah, I'm not paying for them. I literally own them. So, love these Mrs. and Mr. Claus. And this is Rudolph. I think you can see a cable or wire running right there. These are so cool. I don't remember this one, though. Poor Elf lost an eye. One of my chickens actually got badly attacked by a hawk last night. Or actually not last night, a couple nights ago. And I warned her numerous times, don't get out of the cage. And she flies over it, even though I've clipped her wings. She still gets over it. And when I go to hold her and started slamming her on the ground, and luckily I heard the ducks making a loud noise, and I ran after. My wife got her and picked her up, and we had to bring her into the house, and I thought she was going to be blind in both eyes, but it appears after a few days now that she's doing much better. Her eyes are much better. And this section is artwork. I'm done by different artists. I love these things. They're so cute. I never followed any of this stuff. Like, I didn't watch it. And then some guy drew these. Does that name look familiar in the corner? I don't know. It's my work. I painted these several years ago. And that's also mine. Someone else owns these now. I have a big fan of my work. I will actually show you in the corner here a photo at his house of all the things that he owns by me. This one here, I'll tell you a quick story. Whoops, sorry about the bump in there. This is on a giant sheet of plexiglass. You can see I had to attach it to another board with clips to hold it on because it had to be raised, because underneath it, it had a sound machine, like a sound recorder. And I recorded, this is before things were a lot smaller these days for recording stuff. This is like one that you would put inside a doll. And I recorded Frosty the Snowman saying happy birthday. And you push this button and it comes on and he says happy birthday. And I think he also says something else. But yeah, that one was an animatronic. And then this sort of voice-wise. And then this one down here has several layers of animation cells. I hand drew and painted every one of these. There's several layers here, so these people appear one closer or further away than the other one. She's back behind, he's in front, back behind, in front, and so on. And then this is a real fence with lights on it that they're passing by. See, I used to be a lot creative when I had access to things, and here is one more by me. And I think that's it for mine. Yep, these are cute. I like these too. I got to do some art of him. I may do some little cells to just mess around with. But like I said, these are all different artists who did these. Put one foot in front of the other. Sorry, I just have that song in my head now. Michael Jackson, Jackson 5. And I think now we're getting into merchandise and, yeah, collectibles. The person who wrote these books has a lot of collectibles. I have that DVD. I'll have to rewatch that. It's been a while. And a bunch more of all just random collectibles. Pinocchio. Little Drummer Boy, I like that one too. That's a great one. Cricket of the Hearth. And then there's one of the books that they've produced. And there they are again. Rick. The monkeys. Rare finds. Some more. That's a cute old hat, or mask, I should say. And these are some advertisements. Some original animation cells. A lot of stuff from the 80s. If you look on eBay, you can find old animation cells available. I have a ton of Ewok animation cells that I need to get rid of. I just have too many and I don't need them. This is all just looks like the script for one of the shows. And some music. Pinocchio. And we're getting down to the end here. But like I said, you probably can find this book somewhere. There's Thundercats. I think they did the Lord of the Rings also. But yeah, pretty cool. Hope you enjoyed this book as much as I did sharing it with you. And if you did, please do subscribe. I greatly appreciate you all watching. And like I said, please subscribe, like the video, thumbs up, share with your friends. And I'd like to wish you all a magical day. And I will catch you in the next video. Bye-bye.